Good morning,
Sir.
sir.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning to all of you. Only 33 students are there. That's okay. You people should be on time. Of course, you are all already on time. Those who have not come yet, someone inform them to be on time every day whenever we have
Okay.
a class. So I'm also recording the attendance using the Google Meet. So it records when you join the class and when you take a break and when you leave the class. If you have logged in, of course. If you have logged in and if you have gone somewhere, nobody will be able to trace it. That's okay. So we shall quickly review the terms what we had already done. Okay. We defined what is a set and the examples we have given. And then set operations like subset, what it is, union, intersection. Okay. So far we have seen these things. Complement. These are some set operations we have seen. And then we introduced quantifiers. Only after that we have seen these things. After certain examples, we introduced two quantifiers. Two quantifiers, one is existential quantifier, other one is universal quantifier. We want to quantify something. Then we have seen what is a Cartesian product. We defined it. Cartesian product. When you give me two sets, I shall be able to find out another new set according to our definition, which we mentioned as Cartesian product. So it is a list of all possible ordered pair of elements. In that ordered pair, first element is from the first set, second element is from the second set. We defined that already. Then we have defined what is a relation. Two definitions we have seen already. Relation from a set A, from a set to another set. Relation from A cross A to B. And then we defined relation on a set A, where both sets are the same set A. Instead of name, we shall avoid it. Relation on a set. These are the things we have seen. Is it okay? This is to give an idea about what we have done already. We have seen examples and which are not examples. Non-examples also we have seen. Is it okay? Anybody wants to add something more? Can someone tell me what do you mean by a relation? Can somebody tell me about this thing, relation from a set to another set? Someone speak.
By which means they both are related, sir.
Please repeat. It's not. It has some other noise also. Your voice. Please repeat it.
By means in which they both are related, sir.
They are related. We need mathematical definition. You are right. We need mathematical definition. How do you define a relation from a set to another set?
Subset of A cross
The
B.
number of steps.
Yeah, all three, Sriman, Anirudh, and Venkatesh, everyone is correct. You are saying subset of. So, you see, it's like a building block. You have to start from one set, say capital A, another set, say capital B. Then talk about A cross B, the Cartesian product of set A and set B. Now, this Cartesian product may be having many elements. Take a subset. That subset is relation from capital A to capital B. You see, you are giving me the last sentence. You are right. But when you write it down in a paper, in mathematics, what we do is that we write it very logically. You could have seen in many So far, if you have seen some abstract mathematics, you could have seen people start that, let us assume this or that. Okay. Why do they assume those things? Reason is that they are doing some rough work. They reach the conclusion. Then they want to display the results. Then they write, let us assume this. The natural question is that, say, I am a mathematics teacher. Suppose if I say, let us assume set A is this, set B is this, and let us take this and that. All these things I can write down. You can also understand. Your first question will be, why this mathematics teacher strangely assuming something on his own? The reason is that the mathematics teacher tries every possibility, has done so much rough work, and then have decided which works and which doesn't work. Now, the mathematics teacher is not showing you the rough work, simply displays what works. You could have seen in all the textbook, they will be assuming something or they will take certain path to prove something. The reason is that the rough work is done already. So here, whenever I say relation, you are telling me subset of A cross B. Then you have to tell me what is capital A, what is capital B, what is the meaning of A cross B. Finally, subset of A cross B is a relation. Now somebody tell me this one, what is relation on a set? Definition. Yeah, proceed. Proceed.
So when Cartesian product of a set with the same set is
Yes.
taken, then the subsets are called as the relations on the set. On a
Excellent.
particular set.
So now instead of two sets A and B, you are having the same set twice, A and A. Then Cartesian product A cross A. Then you are taking a subset. That's a relation on our set. Let us look at an example. First, let me take different sets. We have seen these things already. Anyhow, today we shall discuss another thing. Let me take let us take A is this example, say 1, 2, 3. It need not be in any order, say 1, 2, 5, say 1, 2, 4, or 1, 2, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And another set I am taking B is let me take something like, you see, I have something in my mind. So according to that, I want to write. Something like this. It is okay. Now A cross B you will be able to write down. A cross B you can write it down, of course. So it is having so many elements: 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 7, 1, 9. You need not write every time. Just for this time I'll write. After that we shall avoid this. We shall understand. We shall not list them out to save some time. So these are the possibilities for all pairs, ordered pairs, of course. You see, observe 7, 4 will not be there. 7, 4 is not in the Cartesian product. Okay. That's okay. Now I need a relation. How many relations are possible? There are 12 elements in the Cartesian product. So 2 power 12 subsets are possible. 2 power 12 subsets are possible. So 2 power 12 relations are possible here. Is it okay? Now you give me a relation one example I'm going to write down based on your suggestion. Give me a relation. Choose the elements in the relation with some pattern. Any pattern you like, you can choose. Are you understanding what I suggest? Give me take your one example, okay? Wait a second, let me correct this one. 1, 4, 2, 4, 4, 4 you are suggesting. Great. 1, 4, 2, 4, 4, 4. Let me take this element of small letter A, this element of small letter B. Okay. Instead of listing them, can I give some property? Property like, say, I am taking this from the set and P from the second set. I am saying I want to write down, instead of listing the set, I want to write down, you give me these two elements. I'll be saying A is related to B if some property. Can somebody tell me the property? Whatever someone has given as R, I don't want to list all the three elements. Instead, I want to represent this set using our property method. What property you will tell me? First element I am taking from A, second element I am taking from capital B. Those things are fine. Now I am defining. Define. A and B are related with this notation. A is related to B if and only if some property is happening. See, I want to define these two should be the same. For example, you understanding? This is example 1. The same example I want to write again, but not by listing. I want a property such that these three elements satisfy, these three elements should satisfy this property. Can somebody tell me what can be that?
A belongs to capital A and B equals to 4.
A belongs to capital A is already given. Okay, we took in that way. And your property you are suggesting is A belongs to A and what do you say? B equals to 4. This is the property you are suggesting. Great. This is what I need. This A belongs to A, we shall not write. It's already written. Okay. So this is the property. Maybe this we shall avoid to be more concrete. Okay. If B equal to 4. Again, both descriptions are giving the same relation. Are you understanding? Relation is a subset. Whenever we have a set or subset, we have two ways of defining it. Either by listing all the elements or by giving a property. That's it. So hereafter, if you give me some property, let us give one more example. The same thing we shall consider. But this time what I need is give me a property first. Then go for finding what is that set. For example, okay, two ways of defining a relation we have explained. Now you give me a property first. Let me tell you again. Say given one element belongs to A and another element belongs to B. Instead of that, we can use A, B itself, no problem. Given A from here, B from there, we define A and B are related. Okay. If give me some property and then maybe you give me the property, I will list the elements, no problem. Define A related to B. Give me some property. What kind of ordered pairs you are going to collect? You are going to take as a subset. Give me something. Any property. Define any property. Then I will write down what is that corresponding set relation. Quick.
Small b equal to small a plus 3.
Small b equal to small a plus
3.
3. Great. You have given a property. Now I am going to look what are the elements satisfying that. So what I need is I need the set of all elements A. Instead of B, I will be having A plus 3. Okay. Because B equal to A plus 3. That's what you said. Such that A belongs to A. These kind of elements I need. What are the elements? 1 and 4. Is it satisfying the condition? Always check this condition. Yeah, it satisfies. And then 2 and 5. And then 2 and 5. And then 3 and 3 is not there. Sorry for that. 4 and 7. These are the elements. Probably somebody has noticed what pattern I wanted there. This 1, 2, 4, 4, 5, 7. They have observed, I think. That's good actually. Not only that, we can write many other relations also. Let me take, since someone has observed our pattern, we'll take one more example. Usually we don't go for this A plus 3 and all. We need either by this property or by this listing. A relation will be given in any one of these ways. Property is more appropriate. Reason is that since we are having only 3 and 4 elements, we are able to list them. Mostly we will not be able to list them. I give another example. I think this is our second example. And the third example, let me give you. Given element from A and the element from B, I am defining A and B are related. If say A plus B is even, something like this I can give you. Then what do I have? My set is A plus B is even. This is 5, this is 6. Some pattern 1, 7, 8, 1, 9. Then in that case, both must be odd or both must be even. This 2, 5 will not come. Is it okay? 2, 5, 2, 7. 2, 7 is 9 only. Something went wrong. 6, 10, 8, 6. Okay. This is 7, this is 9, this is 11, this is 8. 9, 11. That's it. You give me a rule, you give me a property, then I can write down a relation. There are two ways of writing a relation. In the previous class, we were listing all of them. Now we understand that sometimes we may be interested in infinite element set. A, capital A may be of order infinite. Capital B also may be having infinite number of elements. The Cartesian product will be having infinite number of elements, still we can write down many subsets which are relations. Right? You can try for some more relations also. There are many relations. Now, once you have a relation, we want to define some other thing. Some definitions, okay? Types of relations. Let us take this R defines a relation, meaning you are defining any one of the ways. Either you list or you give a property for defining a relation. Defines a relation on X. X is a set. Then you are talking about X cross X. You are defining a relation. Now I want to define what is a reflexive property. When do you say a relation R is reflexive? This relation is reflexive if something happens. Can somebody define it? You studied all these things? A relation is reflexive. I'm sure you know this already. Someone speak. Quick. Have you seen these things or not? Equivalence relation, symmetric, antisymmetric, transitive. Do you remember any one of them? Or you have not seen them? Someone say. Someone say yes or no.
Yes, sir, we studied, sir.
You studied. Then somebody tell me what is this reflexive? How do you define it? No example, nothing. I just ask you the definition.
If each element is related to itself, it is called reflexive. A comma A, B comma B.
Okay. Each element, then like this I will write. Each element here. Then that element is related to that self. Is it okay? R is reflexive if you give me any element from the set, that element is related to the same element. Symmetric if you give me two elements. If you have, what do you have? X related to Y implies Y related to X. Are you people are following these definitions? Can somebody define what is transitive? How do you check? A relation is transitive relation or transitivity you say. If, can you complete? Quick.
Sir,
Yes, tell me.
if x comma y belongs to x and
Okay.
y comma z belongs to x, then x comma z also belongs to x.
Okay. Roughly you are correct. You are willing to relate three elements. Let us take three elements. Give me any three elements. You see this encircled symbol, this symbol, okay. I am studying as given any. Or you can study this as for each, for all. Don't forget that there are three ways of studying this. In same. Give me any three elements. X related to Y and Y related to Z. That gives me X related to Z. If whatever I have written in the bracket, if that conclusion is happened every time, then I say that the relation is transitive. One more thing I can say, antisymmetric. A relation is antisymmetric if give me two elements, any two elements. Given any two elements, x related to y and y related to x must imply x equal to y. These are the definitions. Okay. And there is one more thing. R is equivalence relation. Maybe in the next slide we shall write. We shall look at one example. Are you following these four definitions? After that, we go for an example. Instead of, we want to define a relation on R. Instead of that, first let us look at natural numbers. Let us take natural numbers. Okay. I am defining A belongs to natural number. B also belongs to natural number. We shall define a relation R on the set of natural numbers. This. Okay. So A belongs to N, P also belongs to N, and we define A related to B if what can we say? Can somebody give me some property of your choice? I want to define any property you can give me. I'll collect elements according to the property. Somebody quick, give me any property you like. I want to say two elements are related in the natural number set. Give me any property you like. Let us proceed in that.
A plus B
A comma A
equals to
square
7.
plus
Plus
A plus B equals to 7.
A plus B equals to 7. Then two elements are related. You can list all of them. Okay. How many elements will be there? The number of solutions for this equation. That many elements will be there. You want A and B. It must be 1, 6 or 6, 1, of course. So let me count 1, 6, meaning 1 plus 6 is 7. 2, 5. And 3, 4. Then 4, 3, 5, 2, 6, 1. There are only 6 elements. 6 ordered pairs. Okay. That's okay. Now we are not going to list them out. We are not going to check what they are. Just we shall use the property. We shall check, is it symmetric? This is a relation because it defines a subset. Is the relation R is symmetric? What do you guess? What do I want to check? You give me symmetric. I'm checking first. Let us check reflexive. What do you think? Is it reflexive relation? What is the definition of reflexive relation? We want to check. Give me any element from our set. We want x related to x. Is it true? This is our question. What do you think? X related to X, what does it mean by that? According to the property, X related to X, if and only if, look at this property. X related to X, if and only if X plus X is 7. Incorrect. Do you see that? When this is incorrect, for all the elements of natural numbers, it is incorrect. Can you see that? Take a natural number. This must be true for all the natural numbers. Let us take X equal to 1. 1 is not related to 1. Are you following? Then what is the conclusion? Not reflexive. Is it okay? According to your definition, the relation is defined as A plus B equal to 7. According to the definition for reflexive relation, you give me any natural number, that natural number must be related to that itself. That's not happening here. It is not happening for all the elements, but I need only one element to disprove it. Say I am saying the entire classroom is full of students, everyone is punctual. When I say everyone is punctual, you want to negate it. No, sir, there is one student who is not punctual. Same analogy I am using here. I am saying that every natural number follows our relation. You are saying that, no, sir, there are many elements not following. As an example, I give you the very first natural number, 1. 1 is not related to 1. So this relation is not reflexive. Are you following this? Let us continue. Is it symmetric? It means here the relation R. What is the definition? You give me any two elements from the natural numbers. We must have this implies that. Okay, assume this and then whether it is happening or not. This is what we want to check. So what do we have? Take any natural numbers, then X related to Y, assume, meaning you are taking this. What does it mean for this? X related to Y means, according to our definition, X plus Y equal to 7. From this, Y plus X also is 7. From this, what do we have? Y related to X. Therefore, R is symmetric relation. Are you following this?
Yes, sir.
So is it transitive? Quickly, can you tell me? Is it transitive? What do you think? Give me something, whatever you have in mind. Suppose if X plus Y is 7 and Y plus Z is 7, we want to check whether X plus Z is 7. Can it happen?
No, sir.
It cannot happen. So no. Okay. No, it is not a transitive relation. Now I want to write down it. So I want to say something negative. So give me some X value, y value, z value, such that the final result is not happening. Let me take x value, give me some x value, give me some y value, give me some z value. Okay. Then I should have x plus y is 7. Y plus z is 7. But x plus z is not 7. Can you give me x, y, z values? Natural numbers, of course.
161.
1, 1, 6, 1. So 1 plus 6 is 7, 6 plus 1 is 7, then 1 plus 1 is not 7. So what do you conclude? Therefore, R is not transitive. Very good. Usually mathematicians will not show you this. Mathematicians will ask you to, let us take x equal to 1, y equal to 6, z equal to 1. Those who begins to learn mathematics will wonder why these people are taking these numbers 161. Why not some other numbers? Can you give some other number? Instead of x, y, z, give me some other x, y, z values. Can somebody try for that?
343.
343. Okay. Let me write down that also. X equal to, not here. X equal to 3, y equal to 4, z equal to 3. That also works, of course. But mathematics teacher shows only this green color result. If you want to show this x equal to 3, y equal to 4, z equal to 3, that also is correct. This slide is telling you how mathematics people write it. They do some rough work, whatever is written in blue color. They understand that there are various possibilities for getting not transitive relation. So they are choosing 161. Those who are beginning to learn will wonder why these people are choosing 161. Why not 123? 123 will not work. Are you understanding? If I take 123, what do you think? Instead of 161, I am taking 123. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. I know that because I have already done some rough work. Okay. Anyhow, this is the final thing. There are various set of values for which this is not transitive. Any one is enough to show that. Now let me define equivalence relation. Equivalence relation on a set is a relation which is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive also. If all these are there, that relation is called as equivalence relation. Can we try for an example? Can somebody give an example? Let us check whether it works or not. Symmetric, transitive. Let us take a set of integers. I give two elements. I am defining A related to B if A divides B. Okay. Is it reflexive? Whether A divides A, that's what I'm asking. First question. A divides A. Do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Then it is reflexive. Is it symmetric?
No, sir.
A divides B implies B divides A. No. Then it is not equivalence relation. Not this is enough. Okay. Then let us try another example. A divides B need not imply B divides A. Is it transitive? Just for fun, I am checking that also. Therefore, not equivalence relation. Let me write down it. Is it transitive? A divides B and B divides C implies A divides C. Is it happening?
No.
I think it may work. Imagine numbers. A divides B, B divides C.
No, sir.
Why? Give me some example if it is no.
Yes, sir.
632.
632. Hi, 6 is not dividing 3, no? A divides B, B divides C.
Yes, sir. A is 6, B is 3.
Then first condition is not correct. A divides B I am having.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Maybe mathematically I will define what is the meaning of division. This is done, okay? This also I hope yes, we shall prove it. Mathematically I shall just recall definition of division. We will not say division, just recall. Let us consider a division on integers. Two numbers I am taking from there. I am saying A divides B. A divides B. This notation, okay, I am defining A divides B if there exists an integer with the property that B is K times A. Closely follow that, okay? When do I say that? Example, let me say example, okay? I am saying 2 divides 10 because there is one number from the integers with the property that this number is 5 times this. This existence of 5 guarantees that 2 divides 10. Is it okay? Are you understanding? If I say 3 divides some 36, because instead of because, let me write down definition. 3 divides 36. The reason is that there exists a number 12 such that 36 is 12 times 3. One more thing also I'll write. 3 divides 10. If this is the case, I'm asking a question, okay? 3 divides 10. Then there should be integer with the property that 10 must be K times 3. What do you think? Can you find such integer K?
No, sir.
This is not possible. Not possible, okay? Therefore, what do I say? 3 is not dividing 10. This existence of integer matters here. Let us go back to our example. A divides A. I'm saying no. revisiting the same example. Wait a second. Revisiting. Revisiting the previous example, of course. I'm asking A divides A. These are my question, okay. Whether these things are happening or not. 3 questions I have asked. This question is actually, you give me any element from the set of integers. You give me any 2 elements from the set of integers. You give me any 3 elements from the set of integers. Is it happening? So this is the question. Instead of in terms of words, we are writing in terms of notations. Now I'll ask you, A divides A. That means, according to our definition, does there exist K belongs to Z such that A is K times A? What is the quotient if you divide? The term quotient comes later. This is the question. What's your answer? Can you find out such K?
Yes, sir.
What is that K? You are saying yes. K equal
Yes,
to?
sir. One, sir, always.
K equal to 1. Therefore, what do you conclude? A divides A. Therefore, reflexive relation. Maybe let us take to the next place. This is what you are looking for. Then you are answering it. Now, let us look at the next one. You have assumed A divides B. Then you are going to check. These things you assumed. The reason is that for all A, B in Z, you are having A divides B. That is, there is a number such that B is K times A. Now we want to check. We have now. Okay. We want to test P divides A or not. Okay. That is, we want to test, does there exist K we have already used, let us use some other letter. Does there exist, the letter K is used already, okay, we found the number. Give me some other letter. Does there exist, say some L and the division may confuse. Some C also is like a number. Does there exist some other number with a property that A is M B? This is our question. We need a quotient. Earlier A divides B, so the quotient K we have already chosen. We found it. Let us, if abstract things are difficult, let us understand that 2 divides 10. Okay, 10 is not dividing 2. That we understood already. Just here K is 5. Whenever you say 2 divides 10, I shall find it out. K value is already fixed. The name also is fixed, K. Now I want to test whether B divides A or not. Is it okay? What do you think? Can somebody give me M value? Is there any M? Can you give me M value?
No, sir, the constant is not constant, sir. It varies,
Yes.
sir. It varies according to the values of A and B, sir.
Suitable M value may be 1 by K according to these discussions. But 1 by K may not be integer. Is that what you want to say?
Yes, sir.
No M. No such M belongs to integer. If we choose M is 1 by K, it may not be integer at all. What do you conclude? This is not symmetric relation. Not symmetric. And try for the other one, this one. A divides B and B divides C is taken already. A divides C. Let me say A divides B, there exists integer with the property that B is Ka. B divides C, there exists another integer with the property that C is MB. Together, I want to write A divides C. That means I need something times A. Are you understanding? Let me use C is M times B, which is actually B is Ka. So C is Mk times A. Therefore, A divides C. Therefore, transitive relation. Are you understanding this? These two things I have used. From here I am getting this. From here I am getting this. Together I am getting this comes later. This is my first step. This is my second step. This is my third step. I found an integer in this place. Therefore, what do I have? I have Mk, an integer, with the property that C is Mk times A. Therefore, A divides C. Therefore, it is transitive relation. With this, we shall stop. We have already exceeded 3 more minutes. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we shall stop at this point. You have any questions? You may contact me if you have questions. Shall we stop at this point? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, bye.